Hi everyone, Dr. Hanisha here, and for today's Medical Monday, I'm going to be talking about goitrogens. Last week I talked about why gluten-free, and I had a request on talking more about Hashimoto's hypothyroidism and what could potentially exacerbate the condition and what we could potentially do to even reverse the condition. And so that's why today I'm talking about goitrogens. What are goitrogens? Goitrogens are substances like food, chemicals, and medications that can lead to the disruption of the thyroid hormone production. And they do this by interfering with iodine uptake, which then results in an increase in thyroid stimulating hormone, or the TSH levels, which leads to an increase in the thyroid tissue growth, and then therefore can lead to a goiter. So when I first found out that I had a swollen thyroid, I thought I may potentially have a goiter, and so I Googled what I can do to, prevent the exacerbation of that. And I found all these foods to avoid. So all these goitrogenic foods like kale, spinach, strawberries, cabbage, cauliflower, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, all these foods. And I was like, what can I eat then? I already can't eat gluten, so what is left if I can't eat all these fruits and vegetables as well? And then I learned from more experienced practitioners that eating these foods in moderation is not going to lead to a goiter, especially because these foods are so therapeutic, they're so high in antioxidants and nutrient rich that we really want to be eating these foods. It's just we don't want to be eating too much of them. So having cauliflower pizza and rice every single day, probably not ideal. Probably don't want to have cabbage soup for every meal either. But having them in moderation is going to be completely okay. What I'm actually more concerned about than avoiding these antioxidant rich foods is avoiding the chemicals and medications that can exacerbate the thyroid condition or the goiter in general. So some of these chemicals include, of course, pesticides. This is why it's so important to eat organic. And then on top of that, other heavy metals are like mercury and arsenic. Mercury is normally found in dental fillings as well as seafood, so it's important to know the quality and source of your seafood. And then arsenic is found in chicken and rice, and this is why I also recommend avoiding chicken and rice as much as possible if you can. And other than that, medications also lead to exacerbating goiter. There's so many medications out there that I can't list them all right now, but this is why it's important to talk to your functional medicine or naturopathic doctor about what medications you're on, so we could properly assess whether or not these medications are worsening your goiter and if we should work on taking you off of these medications or not, depending on what it is. So I hope this was helpful and informative, and that's all I have for you all today, and I'm wishing you all great health and happiness, and I'll see you next time.